Well, you bring up a good
right.
point because, you think about, okay, what's the end goal?
Yeah.
Is the goal really to know where our food comes from? Which is a phrase that's used everywhere.
Yeah, right.
Is the goal really to eat perfect food?
Yeah.
Those are goods, and we definitely strive after them.
Yeah.
However, I have been looking at it lately, and I'm the first to let this go out the window because you get myopic and frustrated at the current situation or whatever. But perhaps it's to be a good human. That's one of the best things that you can strive to be. And for us, we have determined that the way to that end is to surround ourselves with land and a home life, a household. You could spend a whole podcast just dissecting that word, household.
Yeah.
But that is actually cultivating us as we are cultivating it. And almost, in this, jujitsu way, like it is harvesting us, and it is like forming us into better humans.
Yeah.
And so that we don't, so we have someone to hand it off to that likes us, like we're leaving a legacy, right? So part of that is not just a perfect property and estate maybe or whatever, but we have friendships and family that come after us and that have benefited from our personhood.
Yeah, and in that sense, it's almost, there's this passive element to it. If the goal is to be, a better human, there is a way in which just the bare, naive, uncalculated commitment to a piece of earth and to a particular family life, just commitment to those things, unschooled, naive as it may be, those will shape you. That will cultivate you almost more than you are the active agent cultivating what is around you.
Yeah.
And it's this mutual cultivation that happens of place and person, of subject and object that is beneficent.
Yeah.
It's good. It goes in a good direction, even if you aren't the direct agent of every single step making it happen and like, we're achieving the vision. And there will be some of that. And I think there's even a season of that, like particularly maybe before kids come or while that you can still strap them to your back. And then maybe after, when they're old enough to not just to actually be help, so there's time for all of it.
Yeah. And, I was just going to say something and I lost my words, but yeah, it's the will, the personal will. I've found in my own experience, the times where I can step back and I go, oh, I wasn't an a-hole there. Right? Which is few and far between sometimes, and I don't think it's okay to like acknowledge that in yourself. Like, oh, I actually bent over backwards for this person rather naturally. Or especially with your kids, like they're just constantly in your way.
Yeah.
And so, oh, I didn't actually shove my round peg through their square hole. Like I stepped back and I didn't, and those moments happen like at the cost of my will.
Yeah.
And then I find out, oh, I kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of going around in circles here, but there's more to it than just achieving a perfect rain barrel system or for us like fencing. We still don't
get the damn ducks to lay an egg.
Exactly. Yeah. Or can we just have fencing, please? There's more involved here, and I want to be more aware of how I'm growing too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the adage that the journey is the destination.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
There is no solution, like one thing. It's you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of the reasons a lot of those projects fail, even if you're not aware of it, it's because you are actually putting your energies and your time and your heart into more important things. Even if you're, not conscious of that in the moment, it's, your children smile a lot.
Yeah,
and they laugh and they're happy. And it's like, that's definitely taking a lot of your time and energy. And the ducks aren't going to lay as soon as they ought as a result. And that is okay.
Well, and that's the whole concept of pruning, right? Which is cultivating, it's an art in the world of cultivating trees and hedges and things. Is, you know, it feels hard in the moment, but it's actually doing everyone a service when you cut back on all those projects and you reorient your time, your space, and everything for the good of the other, for the good of, you know, the people around you,
the little others. And there's even this amazing like function in human people that is how we develop character. It's so hard because it is pruning, and you always hear, you know, that metaphor of it's thickening the branch. You know, the more pruning you do, it's just thickening where the branch connects to the trunk so that it can eventually hold more. And I know for sure that, you know, I have had to give up a lot of projects because they didn't work for various reasons, because the demands of family life, you know, took away energy. But it's also because I am not ready for them.
right?
Which is a difficult, humiliating thing to recognize. Being ready to do a project is not just conceptualizing it accurately, like, and having all the reasons, right? Because that's kind of easy. Like, you can go on a permaculture forum and read 15 biodynamic books and you could lay it out. And yes, it's all correct. But there is this internal, you know, element of character that is underneath all of that. And this is how I've experienced it, is that because I get it all so polished conceptually as this thing I'm going to do in the future and so justified, I tend to gluttonize that. I become a glutton, and I can't get enough of that vision. And that's like the crazy dynamic of the fetish. I'm going to fetish this and pursue it, or like a mania, you know, which is, again, like, how much are you going to sacrifice to that mania? It's a disordered obsession. Whereas if you're forced to delay it, you don't lose any of the polish of the concept and the accuracy and the truth and the goodness and the beauty of your vision. You actually become better able to bear it and execute it for the right ends. At least that's what I'm hoping.